I love that. I'm super curious now. So you've been in the industry for quite some time, which is a huge accomplishment, first of all, because like, you know, with burnout rates or just like how the way the industry changes, you know, like to stay relevant is amazing. So I want to compliment you on that.
Well, thank you.
But I'm curious, how have you, what's in your perspective, how have you seen in the most drastic ways the industry change? What are some changes that you've seen, good or bad?
Well, there's so many. I mean, it's like, well, for like, yes, it's like I could talk for an hour about that, but you know, just like the use of, say, you know, really nice microphones and mic preamps, for instance. Like, just take that one topic. It's like, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, like, you know, records cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and there were people around with lab coats calibrating things. I mean, it was like a totally different world. So, you know, records had a certain sound, but a lot had to do with the gear, you know, and that gear is not really accessible to people, you know, in general. But now, you know, with all that, you know, UAD makes all these fantastic plugins that sound just like the hardware. I mean, there's so many amazing technological advancements that, yes, you know, you can achieve that sound with almost, you know, 90% less. Okay. Yeah. But the plugins don't come with the ears or the experience. And that's what's kept me relevant, is because, you know, people come to me not for studio time, they come to me for expertise and to collaborate and to try to elevate what they do, you know, on a visceral level. It's not, it's almost, you can't even put it in words, really. Like when you connect with an artist and you get them to that place where they've always wanted to go. And a lot of times that's the journey for me, and that's what I get the most fulfillment out of, because I've been doing this forever. I don't need to impress myself. When I work with young people, they show me stuff. I'm like, whoa, what's that? That's, and they're like, yeah, can you do that with my voice? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I gotta let me study how they did, you know, how they did that, you know, because, you know, there's all these crazy techniques in music, especially in pop music, they're really, really innovative and cool, and they annoy some people, but I think they're like chopping up the vocals and getting all the porpoise sounds and all that. I love that stuff, you know, and I've learned from young people, so I like to work with young artists, but then I have to study what they're excited about. See, if I study what they're excited about, I grow at the same time. But then they're going to that place that they haven't been able to get to. So everybody wins. See? I
love that, man. That is such an interesting perspective. That is really pretty wild. So I'm curious about that, because and the reason I had such a, you know, excited look when you said, you know, you all this gear and stuff, but you don't have the ears. It is word for word. Several people have said that on these chats, and it's like, man, confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. So I hope people that are listening hear it. You know what I mean? Because it's the truth. You like, even Chris, talking about Chris, like, he said that, you know, he has all this gear, but he uses like Fab Filter and all this stuff that like is super easy to get and super relatively inexpensive. It's like he just has the ears.
But he knows what to do with it.
Exactly.
Because he's spent decades sitting there, you know, making tiny movements with it. You know?
Absolutely. I love that, man. It's so fascinating. Now,